Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. We make it harder than what it has to be sometimes. I was reading the word of the Lord, and before I was actually just asking the Lord, like, Lord, what is this? Why is this not going? I really actually do not remember what I was saying, to be quite honest. But I was just venting more so than anything. And the Lord, of course, allowed me to know that that's okay. And so after I finished venting, I went to the Bible. And I'm actually thinking this is in James. It's so sad that I do not remember the exact verse. But I was just so stunned by the scripture that I was like, oh wow. But yeah, the Lord said, you have not because you ask not. And it just blew me away because most of the time in life, we want to complicate things. And I've, of course, talked about this before. We think you have to jump through hoops. You have to do this. You have to do that in order to get to the end. And I'm not going to say that there aren't obstacles that'll get in our way. But most of the time, it's us getting in our own way, and we're wanting to do it our way and not exactly the Lord's way. And He's just saying, I'm simple. I am not as difficult or hard to hear that you may think I am. It's like you don't have what you're asking for or what you're wanting. It's because you have not asked me. And of course that's simply put, but it'll be some things behind there as we walk down the path that He's called us to. Because once we ask and He delivers or tells us what to do, then we'll have to do the next step, which is, I don't know what it is for you, I can't say, but it'll be an action plan. So it's just like, I'm asking the Lord for something, and He's telling me how to receive it, or not necessarily telling me how to receive it, but He's just taking me along certain steps, and it gets me to the desired end. And I just wanted to make it as simple as I could, as it was put to me, because like I said, in life, we most of the time will think that it's so intricate and think like, oh, it's this and that, and trying to work it together like a puzzle. And the Lord's like, no, I'm very simple, because I came down here, and of course I know y'all, I came down here and I realized I have simple-minded human beings that I have created. And I say that jokingly, serious. And I have to make it be simple in order for them to flourish in all that I have. And we are very creative people. And so I believe that's why our minds think that we have to go out, we have to do all these extra extravagant things in order to get the will of God. And I think the Lord is just calling us back to simplicity. So I hope this video actually just encouraged you to realize that God is in the simple thing. And the Word talks about that when there was like, oh, it was a big, and I don't want to misquote it, but you know what I'm saying. I say, you know what I'm saying? You're like, no, we don't know. But it was just like, basically, like God wasn't in, the big fire, or like the big storm, but He was in the still small voice. And I think that's just something that we need to get back to with all the distraction that we have in our lives, that we oftentimes think that God is, trying to speak this big loud, through this big loud megaphone. And the Lord is like, no, I'm in the simplicity of you just being still. And like the Word said, being still and know that I'm God. And there will you find the answer to your problem. So I hope you're able to grab something from this. I mean, my mind was just blown when the Lord said, you have not because you ask not. It's not because I'm trying to withhold things from you. It's simply because of you. And so most of the time, that's what it is, us getting in our own way, getting in our own head, and making it a big deal versus just looking at the simplicity of how God really works. So thank you so much. Like I always say, sa kami que quieres ver en otros. Until next time. Bye.